Hi and welcome to another video update from the Fire Brigades Union here in the Union's head office in London. We're joined by FBU General Secretary Matt Rack to discuss a pay offer that has just been put forward by the employers. Now Matt, this is to do with firefighters and control members' pay under the Grey Book. It's a proposal that arrived yesterday, the 26th of July. What does it say?
What the employers are saying, Tam, is that they propose that pay should be uplifted, is the term that they use, by 2% from the 1st of July 2018 on pay and CPD rates. That's their proposal.
Okay, Matt, that might be the figure, but I think important in every firefighter's mind it's out there, based on the lessons of the past, are there any strings attached to this proposal?
No, there's no strings. They want to continue discussing with us. They talk about a longer term deal. But there are no strings in terms of our members being expected to do anything for any additional work or anything. It's not in relation to this proposal. Okay, so the Executive Council has met, especially the day after the offer has been made. What's the EC saying? What are we going to tell members about this offer? Well, we're just issuing an all-members circular, setting out a statement and recommendation the Executive Council agreed, and we made a number of points. First of all, on the proposal to uplift pay itself, the Executive Council is, first of all, consulting members. All this is a decision for members, it's not for the Executive Council. So members will be consulted into September, with that concluding at the Executive Council meeting on the 18th of September. Members will be asked to make decisions on that. Secondly, that we do believe that that uplift should be applied. We'd rather have that money in our members' pockets than in the coffers of the fire and rescue authorities. Well, I think that the turning point was the assessment of the Executive Council that actually things have come to a head in a way. So the statement suggests that we very clearly say to the employers that this does not remotely address the needs of firefighters and control staff after 8 years of pay freeze, pay reductions, falling real wages, and then that message needs to go back very clearly. It says that what we're very aware of is that there is work going on in fire and rescue services across the country which we believe is not within the agreed roadmap and therefore in our view is not contractual. In other words, the employers are getting work for free out of our members. So we're proposing that there is a detailed audit, fire service by fire service, of all the work that's undertaken and whether we believe it is agreed or not. It's an important step because we think in reality employers are abusing our members as a result of that process. We're recommending that there should then be a major stepping up of campaigning to make the case for investment in the fire service instead of the cuts, and that part of that investment is about making the case for a serious and realistic pay rise for members, and that we begin to prepare that and launch that after the summer period. We're alerting people to the need to start considering preparing for industrial action, which is not a step anyone wants to take, and we still hope we can avoid it. But I think there's two forms that we're raising with members to start thinking about. The first of all is, of course, strike action, which is a very serious step, but we think we need now to start talking about preparing for that level of industrial action. And secondly, it relates to the point of the type of work that our members are doing. Actually, we need to start thinking, if we're not getting paid for certain types of work, actually, we're going to stop doing that type of work. And there's a whole raft of it going across the country. And we need to send a message to the employers. If you're not going to pay us properly, and if you're going to abuse our members' goodwill, and this applies, I think, at local level to fire and rescue services, it also applies to central government who are getting work done by the fire service for free, then actually we're going to withdraw from that and we'll do what we're paid for, and that's all we'll do. So those are big issues that people need to think about, but the Executive Council's assessment is actually this needs to be a turning point. We're fed up of taking year after year of 0%, 1%. Now it is slightly higher, 2%, but it does not remotely address the fact that our members' living standards have fallen behind as a result of that years of pay freeze.
Now, Matt, you talked about the additional work and clearly the frustration that you have that this is going on, but this is work that is getting undertaken and in many cases enjoyed by firefighters out there. It would be a big step for firefighters to stop that, wouldn't you agree?
It is, and no one takes this lightly. And I think the problem we've got is that our employers and the government have taken advantage of the goodwill that our members have. They want to do serve the community. They want to do work. They accept in many cases the need to do different types of work. But I think the problem we've got, when our employers and the government use that goodwill as a way of preventing pay rises coming through, then we have to have a serious discussion about actually, is it fair that we just keep expanding what we're doing without getting paid for it? And actually, I think if we do that rigorously, we'll find there's a whole raft of work which potentially could stop. Now, well, I hope we don't get to that, and I hope that the government actually wakes up and intervenes and starts putting that money into the fire service so that a pay rise can come through.
Now, importantly, you said you feel the government has to put that forward. I mean, you must have seen, as I have, chief fire officers and other senior officers on social media saying that they support firefighters getting an extra pay rise. Are you confident that message from them is getting through to the Home Office?
Well, two points in response to that. First of all, in terms of the governments, we're dealing with 4 different governments. It's complicated because in Northern Ireland there currently isn't a government. I have to say we have had good dialogue with the Scottish Government and with the Welsh Government, so we've made more progress. The biggest obstacle, I have to say, is the Home Office in Westminster, who, despite many discussions, seem hell-bent on forcing through further cuts in the fire service and not providing the funding to provide the investment that the fire service needs, and part of which needs to go to our members in terms of pay. So that's one of the complicating factors. In terms of chief fire officers and local politicians in the fire service, we're aware that there were 3 meetings around the country of fire authority chairs or leaders of boards and chief fire officers. And I'm aware that messages go out locally that they support a pay rise. As far as we can see, nobody within those meetings has seriously put forward the case for anything greater than what they've proposed. And the outcome is, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. We've ended up with a 2% pay proposal. So fine words are great, but they don't actually put bread on the table. They don't pay the bills. So I think those people actually need to start telling government face to face and publicly that their underfunding of the fire service is not sustainable, and we need investment to defend the fire service, and part of which, as I say, needs to go to improving the pay of firefighters.
Okay, Matt, then just finally, so from the message from the executives, it's 2%, we're taking that, but for members we need to build around potential action, around additional workloads. How is this going to be consulted with members? What's the practicalities for the people out there watching this?
Well, I would follow us on social media, the videos and so on, and all members' circular will go out. We will then advise brigade level officials to make sure that branch meetings are held. People should attend those branch meetings, have their say. People may have different points of view about the question of industrial action, the question of withdrawing from certain types of work, the question of whether we pick up the 2% or not. All those issues are up for debate, but unless people participate, and that's their right to participate and have their view heard, then it won't be a democratic discussion. So we need that democratic discussion by September. So it would be done through branch meetings, through watch meetings, through consultations that will be organised at local level by our local brigade officials.
Matt, thanks very much. Now, a circular outlining all this has just been posted on the union's website. That's www.fbu.org.uk. For more immediate updates, you can also follow us on Twitter, and that's @FBU National. But please get to your meeting and make sure you have your say. Until next time, thanks, and thanks so much, Matt.
Thanks.